The Cougar men's basketball team just wrapped up against the Pacific Tigers in Beasley Coliseum tonight. What was supposed to be one of the easiest wins of the WSU season turned out to be one of their most disappointing losses so far. Sydney Berger is live in Pullman with what went wrong for the Cougs tonight. Sydney.
Hey, Kirsten. Yeah, absolutely right. The biggest thing was that the Cougars just did not look like themselves tonight. They didn't feel like themselves tonight, and you could feel that just from me sitting on the baseline. You could see it through the coaching staff, the bench players, and the players on the court. WSU just lost to a Pacific team that has yet to win a game in the conference before tonight. They've yet to win a game on the road again before tonight. So putting it pretty bluntly, this is a pretty bad loss for Washington State after they've had some pretty good wins recently. But head coach David Riley says that the biggest thing was that they felt like they were playing catch up throughout the entire game. The Cougs gave up 12 turnovers just in the first half and struggled overall to keep a good momentum and pace going. Pacific's star player Lamar Washington dropped 40 points on WSU, and that alone is hard to come back from. But it was an overtime 3-point shot at the buzzer that sealed the Tigers' win and had Coach Riley thinking he's got to reel his players back in.
I think that the game humbles you, and we weren't mentally tough enough because I thought our egos were getting a little bit big, and maybe that's from winning, maybe that's from me not having good enough practices that put them in reality. There's a lot of different things that could go into that, but when we're pointing fingers and we're blaming others, I think that shows a little bit of mental weakness, and hopefully this game can make us tougher.
Well, the biggest game of Washington State's season so far feels like now a must-win situation. The Cougs have less than 48 hours before they turn around and play a ranked Gonzaga team in the Kennel this Saturday. It's certainly a game that Coach Riley says his players need to get a lot more mentally tough for. That game tips off at 6 o'clock on Saturday. But it wasn't all bad news and gloomy situations over here in Pullman. Earlier this morning, Washington State welcomed in their 35th head football coach in program history. That man is Jimmy Rogers, and he already has a laundry list of things that he wants to do here for this Washington State program. Rogers comes from South Dakota State, where he spent 19 years as a player and a coach. So talk about loyalty right there. He says Washington State was the first head coaching offer that felt right for him to leave a place and a program he was so loyal to.
A university that's really built on people and opportunity and hard work and a commitment and toughness, and that's kind of what the program I just left. I know what that is. I know what it's like doing in a community that's really bought into one thing. Pullman is Washington State, and Washington State is Pullman, and I am blessed to be here.
Rogers goes on to say he's committed to giving the Cougs a chance to be national contenders with national recognition, and he's already met with several players and convinced quite a few to actually withdraw their names from the transfer portal, which has plagued this program so far. One of those big names, quarterback Zevi Eckhouse. So his plans and goals seem to resonate with the Cougar faithful so far, and that's good news for this football program that needs to be turned around and whipped into shape quite a bit. Seemed like Rogers was really eager to take on that task. He preached hard work, and he also preached this was the best place for his family. We saw it tonight too. He was actually sitting courtside at the basketball game, and they showed him on the big screen with his family, his kids, his wife. Big smiles here, so it's just really promising to see a head coach just be so excited to be here in Pullman. Reporting live in Beasley Coliseum, Sydney Berger, 4 News Now Sports.